Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe and stick around. Let's go ahead and get into all of the palettes that I used in the month of March. And I was kind of surprised at myself because I thought I didn't use a whole lot. I skipped a couple of days to give my eyes a rest. I also did the 3 looks video for the new Nomad Cosmetics Royal Europe palette. If you didn't see that, please go watch it. I also did a bonus look as a collab on Instagram. So 4 days was used up on that one palette, but I actually used 16. So I'm really excited to show you guys. This also helps me get to know my own collection better and to really think about it and be intentional about what I use and what I decide to keep. And sometimes I end up getting rid of stuff after I do these, but I think I'm gonna keep all of them this time. So if you want to see a little bit of my collection, keep on watching. Okay, first up, this is gonna seem so boring to you, but this is a little duo. And this is LA Colors. I got it from Dollar Tree. And I have 5 of these now, and they perform so well. Look at this shimmer in here. It is stunning. Look at that. Like how easy that's swiped on, smooth. It's so shiny. These are so good for $1.25. I would even maybe pay like $5 for them. Excellent, easy. Like if you just want to do, 2 shadows and out the door, cannot recommend these enough. And it's $1.25. Like you cannot go wrong with that. Next up, we have It's Belle, and this is the Cool Summer palette. I love this color story so much. Like this is so summer to me. It is very similar color story to the Paradise Islands by Nomad, but this formula, I really love the mattes in it. The shimmers are, I love this one. Look how pretty this is. It is this gorgeous, like blue, green, purple. I mean, so stunning. I just think this one is perfect for spring and summer, and it's on sale. I believe last time I looked for like $16 or $18. Run, go get it. So good. Then we have the Fairy Tale Fairies, which has a similar color story, and this is simply Posh Cosmetics. You guys, I'm really excited because she teased the new palette coming out. It may already have been shown by the time you guys see this, but it's going to be like a citrus themed. So my thinking, the way that she lays these palettes out from either a light or mid-tone to deep with multi-chrome or duo shimmers in between, I think that citrus one is going to be like neons and yellow, green, orange, pink, and I just think it's going to be so pretty. Cannot wait to see it, but love her formula. The mattes are excellent, and she also keeps the price point really reasonable. And I know that there's been kind of grumblings in the indie community lately for how much they've gone up, but she keeps her palettes at a good price. Then we have the Mel Thompson Collection singles. That was the dupe for Natasha Denone's palette. And I'm counting this as one palette because yes, they're all singles, but it was supposed to dupe one palette. I put them in 2 different ones because it just made sense to me. You guys, Sydney Grace, like, it's so hard for me when people ask, like, what is your favorite brand? What is your favorite formula? I have so many favorites. It's like choosing a favorite child. But my most consistent, never fails me, always looks beautiful, so easy to use, is definitely Sydney Grace. You cannot go wrong with her formula. She's also a super sweet owner with daughters, and they're all involved and just so kind, and I just cannot recommend them enough if you've never tried them. This one was so surprising to me. So this is the Beauty Bay Sunset Horizons palette. The reason why this was surprising is my first round with Beauty Bay was the Wilderness. No, I bought the Wilderness. I still haven't used it. It was the Age of Opulence palette. And I struggled with that palette so much when I first got it. I was like, this sucks. This formula is horrible. I've never had a look go this wrong and crease and fade and patchy. Then I used it again in a different way and a different technique. I did more of a packing on and then blending, and I just learned to do my makeup better, period. And I ended up liking it. So I wasn't sure. I was like, well, this is such a good palette. And the more I look at it, it's so genius to me. I mean, you've got, this is like daytime, and then this goes into the night. Like it's 2 different palettes, and I didn't realize that at first. It's just, I love it. I don't think it's on the website anymore, but I've seen it, you know, other retailers, but I think they discontinued it. But I also ordered the, I think it's the Dark Fantasy, maybe that'll be coming to me soon. I had to because it was on super cheap, but I am on a super low buy too. Okay, then here is the Nomad Royal Europe I was referring to. Again, I do have a video on this and have 3 looks, but I did a 4th one and I've now used every single shade in it. And this one, like, I grew to love more and more. And I really love the looks from it. Beautiful if you want bold, dramatic, standout looks. This one is excellent and the multi-chromes are so good. Then from Nomad, I also have the Monte Verde. This is the Cloud Forest palette. I used this on St. Patrick's Day because there's so many greens. I love this palette. I know some look at it and they're like, I just don't know what to do with that. But if you love color, then this one's excellent. And my favorite in here is River Trail, is this icy blue that is just so stunning. I love it. I love the bright colors in here. Excellent for summertime. Then we have the Muse palette by Cosmic Brushes. And I mean, everyone knows this palette now, I think. This one and the Serenity palette, I mean, it is hard to beat. And she keeps these so affordable. This is $23 or $25, which is insane. Like, that is drugstore price at indie top-notch level formula. And the color story is just so gorgeous. It's romantic, it's grungy, it's just soft, but then it can be deep and it can be bold. It's just, I love it, love it. Like, pretty much anything she puts out, I'm gonna have my eyeballs on it. And, well, my eyeballs, it will be on my eyeballs. All right, then we have the Blend Bunny Primal palette. I love this palette so much. Blend Bunny, again, if you haven't tried them, highly recommend. You cannot really beat their mattes. I mean, I know Natasha Denona, the mattes are really good in that. Like, I think Blend Bunnies are even better. I said it. And I now have 5 palettes, I believe. I think the only one I don't have is the blends, which was the first one everyone fell in love with. But I love this palette. I love it. If I need just, like, if I have an idea, I'm like, okay, I want to do a yellow look, I want to do a red look, then I will go to this. And because the colors are here for me, they are going to blend easily. It's going to look seamless. It's going to look like I'm a pro when I'm not. And I also love they have the black and white, so you can either deepen or you can make something more pastel with the white. Such a good palette. Okay, next we have the Nude Rich by Huda Beauty. I've had this one for quite a while. And here lately, I think because I was doing so many bold looks with the Nomad palette, if it was a day I wasn't filming, I'm like, I just want to do something neutral. I don't want to think today. And so I did reach for some neutrals this month, and it's like, well, this would be a good time to try this palette out. I kind of thought that I would maybe declutter it before I even used it, and I still don't think it's amazing, but I did really like my look, and I think I'm going to keep this as one of those that I may go back to again. And then if I'm not just madly in love with it, I may end up decluttering it. I mean, it works well. The shimmers are subtle. It gives you a pretty look, but they're just, I don't know. Well, they swatched really pretty. They just don't excite me that much, but it is a solid palette. And I do think it's a pretty, like, rosy neutral palette. Speaking of another neutral, we have the Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Nirvana 5-pan that came in the very last boxy before the merger. And this is not my favorite Pat McGrath. I know a lot of people were so excited to get this, and I was excited for others to get it who had never tried Pat McGrath, because, you know, it's such a coveted and, like, everybody wants it and it's expensive. And so people were just so ecstatic to get this, and it's cute. I just don't, I mean, they are pretty, but I mean, they're pretty. But look, this was the LA Colors one. And then these are the Pat McGrath. Like, you see what I mean? A lot of it's just in the name and the packaging, and I love Pat McGrath. I have every single mothership except for one. But you guys, the LA Colors is whooping its booty. Okay, okay. All right, then we have one of my favorite palettes in my collection. So underrated in my opinion. This is the Trace Luce I Am palette. This is the Becky G line, and you guys, I've had this now 2 years almost. It is so good. Like every time I use this, I get compliments. And what I love about this is you do have these neutrals, and then you've got these very like Miami neon pops here that's so summertime, and they combine really easily. This is my favorite yellow in my collection. I go for it anytime I need a yellow, and I also love this lime green. The shimmers are beautiful in it. I actually, on my shorts, I have a tutorial with this, and I used this Unstoppable that time, and it is a gorgeous, like peachy, look at this. This one, this swatch pops up. I mean, hello, that is some pigment. It is so pretty. I love it. Now, she hasn't come out with other palettes that have really intrigued me. They've been very like, meh, boring color story wise. I want her to do something like this again, and I will hop on it. I will get it. I will review it. I also love her Empower Me lipsticks. They have a magnetic closure. It's this beautiful blue, and they're a comfortable velvety matte. Highly recommend those lipsticks, highly. Then we have Colored Rain, which is one of my favorite. I'm not sure what's going on with this brand though. Everything's been on sale for a long time, and I don't know. It scares me because I have so many palettes and I love them. I also love her eye primer base. I love her lipsticks, blushes. I'm just not really sure what's happening. But this is the Rose Garden. It's a beautiful 6-pan. I got a lot of compliments on this one too. Here is this gold shimmer right here, beautiful. And I have not actually used the Emerald Rose, but that looks gorgeous. Wow, so pretty. But I mean, you guys, I think this was on sale for like $6 or $8. So if this color story appeals to you, you might want to go grab it. Really, really love this brand. And then we have two Lethal Cosmetics. This is the Jolina palette. This is another one that's like interesting to me because I was looking at it and I'm like, this just, I don't know. The color story, when I'm looking at it, I don't know if it really inspires me, and it looked kind of dull, but there's something about Lethal. And I'll go ahead and show you the Berlin palette as well. Now I think I'm not sure if either one of these are available anymore, but there is something about Lethal that the tones, when you put them on, it looks different than anything I've worn before. And I just end up staring at my eyes anytime I wear Lethal, and I have a bunch of singles too. And they feel kind of dry when you're putting them on, and you're like, I don't know, but like, I don't know. They just transform and look beautiful. They're very eye-catching. And so, I mean, these kind of actually go together really nicely now that I'm looking at it. But it's definitely a brand that intrigues me, and I need to use more of my singles, more in my collection, but very, very unique brand in my opinion. Then we have this last one is, I thought I would maybe declutter this one. This is the Pure Barbie palette. It's been around for several years now in TJ Maxx. That's where I got it a year and a half ago. I finally used it last month. And I was like, oh, I was so excited whenever I found it at TJ Maxx. But then my collection has, boomed since I ever wanted this palette. And I thought, I'll probably use this and then not like it that much and declutter it. But my look was so pretty. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought the formula was really good, easy to use. It looks kind of powdery and chalky when you swatch your finger. It's this top one, so it doesn't even really like stand out that much on here, but it really looked pretty on the eyes, and I do think the packaging is pretty, so I probably will keep it. But I'd say out of everything I showed you, this one's probably at the bottom, but I'm still gonna keep her. But that is it, you guys. That's a little glimpse into my collection and just giving you a rundown on what I used in March. What did you guys use in March? What were there any of these that you're like, oh girl, I need that. Let me know in the comments. And as always, have fun shopping. Budget shopping. Bye.